This is Melody Kush.
This is Lana Del Rey.
Hey, Sex Squad.
Check out Sex Tales right now.
Sex Tales.
I don't even have any pants on.
Yes.
Are you dating right now? Like, at all within the industry or out of the industry?
No, I'm taking a break because I am a serial relationship hopper. Where usually I'm in polyamorous relationships or open relationships, so if one ends, I can just hop into another one because there's already somebody that I was interested in or starting to talk to, all that kind of stuff. And my last relationship ended back in September, and I realized that this is the first time I've been completely single since I was 22. I'm 26 now, so it's been 4 years that I've just been like hopping in and out of relationships. So there's somebody that I'm interested in, but I have a checklist of personal goals that I want to achieve before I ever ask them out. And they're a really good friend of mine, so it's like I don't want to rebound to them, and I want to make sure that if it doesn't happen, I'm still happy and we still can be friends and everything can be fine. And if it does, then I'll be an even better person. They can go ahead and like be like, hey, here's another cooler version of me. Here you go.
Aww. See, I love that. Yeah, you should always like be your own happiness, and then like your partner like just adds on to that, but they shouldn't be your only source of happiness. That's how you get unhealthy relationships.
Exactly.
And
now
how
my dog
has
is
it
my
been
source of
dating
happiness.
And how has it been dating it while you've been working in this industry? Do you find yourself dating more within the performer pool or outside of it? And what's the difference there for you?
I've done both, and there are strengths and weaknesses to both. If you're in a relationship with another performer, then there are a lot of things that you don't have to explain because they already know themselves. You can work together, which is always great. You can have like a partner, especially if you live with them, that you can make content with. But on the bad side, if you're doing like mainstream commercial porn like me, if you guys break up, you have to keep seeing them. They're in the line to get tested when you go to get tested. They're at parties. I know that whenever things open back up again, I'm gonna have to go to award shows and like see my exes there. So that kind of sucks. They kind of never really go away. But if you break up with somebody who doesn't do the same job as you, once you guys break up, you can just block them everything, and like they cease to exist in your world. And one of the pros with dating somebody who isn't in the industry, especially if they have a dick, like a lot of guys in the industry have to kind of save their cum shots. So if they have to work the next day, they can't fuck you the night before because they want to make sure they have like a really good pop shot the next day. But if you're dating somebody who doesn't do porn, you can just fuck whenever, and there's like no limits to it. You can just do whatever you want because every time they come is with you, or if you're in a relationship with one of their partners, they don't have to save it up like that.
I never even thought of that.
That's so interesting. I never even thought about that, right? Like a little squirrel saving your
Yeah.
And have you ever had to face one of your exes in a scene afterwards?
I used to date Nathan Bronson, and we broke up the day before we did an Evolved wrestling scene where we literally had to fight each other and then fuck. That was also interesting because we both lived in LA and they shoot that in Vegas. So we broke up, and then the next day had to drive to Vegas for 4 hours together, shoot a scene, and then drive back. Yeah, it was really difficult, but I think that's what made the scene so good. It's another one of my top view scenes on Pornhub, and I think that people like it because we were kind of working through some stuff when we were wrestling each other, and then it was like the last time we ever had sex.
Right,
so
super organic.
Yeah, it's like
it was a really passionate
hate
scene.
fucking.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, passionate. There we go.
Passionate's a little bit nicer, but
Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I never, honestly, those are things I never really thought about when, dating other performers, like the run-ins afterwards, like the fallout from a potentially, disaster. But I think, of course, also, I think that there's a lot of mutual respect for, the work as well. So I think that, performers, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do the job, right?
Yeah. And I feel like there's no right way to date when you're in porn or if you're in the sex industry. I would never say to somebody like, oh, don't ever date somebody who's not in it, or don't ever date somebody who's in it, because there's going to be problems with each one, so you should just do what feels right to you.
Why me do my two-step?
Hey, Sex Squad. Remember to spank that like button and subscribe on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/camminglife.
And make sure to subscribe to Sex Tales wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Yes.